The worst thing about being human is the inability to change, seemingly. The inability to start working out, to start hustling, working extra hours, to saving money. It's a difficult road for a person who has a set course of action that they've been taking for a long period of time. And when you're somebody who's trying to be more social, who's trying to be more extroverted, who's trying to be more charismatic in conversations in a way that makes people like you, you are going to find it difficult. You might even find it painful. You may, even as I am saying this aloud, as I am putting this video out there, some of you guys might even be angry at me. You guys are in this mindset that people who are social or extroverted are assholes. Firstly, I'm going to teach you guys what the mindsets underneath being antisocial are. Then we're going to go into the mindsets of a confident man. From there, we're going to get into ego, personality science, and how to change it. And lastly, I'm going to give you guys exercises that will get you to the next level. But this all builds upon each other. Each piece is needed. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. Yo, bitch, I got some buzzes clawing on my fucking stomach. So, why are you antisocial? What is it that causes you to fear social environments or to fear communicating with others, especially when it comes to strangers? Why do you get nervous in conversations? Well, it is first and foremost a defense mechanism. There is a portion of it where there is a defense mechanism in place. Back in the day, if you got rejected from your tribe, which tribes only ran from about 25 to 150 people inside the tribe, anything beyond that, the tribes break up into more subsect tribes. And if you got kicked out of it, if you had a bad name for yourself, guess what? That is seemingly death. If you are kicked out of the tribe, you don't have anybody to protect you. You don't have the power of the tribe behind you. You're as good as dead as a human without a social connection, without the people around you. And it's why we're built to be social. You are built to connect. There is nobody that is an island. It just doesn't exist. Nobody is made to be alone. It's why isolation in prison is now considered torture. It's why they go mentally crazy. It's why if a man gets stuck on an island by himself, he starts going nuts, starts drawing faces on volleyballs. With that out of the way, though, you find a way of rationalizing past introversion. If you're somebody who has been shy for a long time or has rationalized not speaking up or communicating or not saying hi to somebody that you want to say hi to or asking somebody for something that you need, you're going to rationalize that as a personality trait. And the more actions you take to say that you're shy, it builds on time, it stacks on time, the rationalizations get deeper, more interwoven, they get buried over time, and now you must be an introvert. So let me give you some examples. If you're somebody who doesn't work out or is somebody who didn't work out originally, then you started working out, did it start becoming fun? Did you start enjoying it? If you're somebody that hated their job and went from working a lot more hours, you're somebody that probably now likes his job. If you're somebody who has developed, honestly, any skill, any trait, any ability that you didn't have prior, you found a way to love it eventually. And then your ego started rationalizing that it was amazing to do or that there's some kind of value to be had from it. This is the ego at play. It is trying to keep you consistent with past action, but if you give it enough action, eventually the action will feed your ego and it will change you. Small actions over time lead to big changes in the end, will lead to consistency. If you're finding this difficult at first, just know it's not going to always be as difficult. Eventually, it's going to be easy. So easy that you'll actually have a hard time not being social or outgoing. You'll feel cooped up, and you'll have to slow yourself down. That's the mindset that I want to have for you guys. Now, you might be somebody who also, because of the rationalizations of being introverted, you might say dumb things like that you hate people or that you fear them. This is stupid, and it is pushing the mindset that introversion is a safety net and it is needed, and it's not. There are people that suck. Don't get me wrong. There are people that suck, but there's also a lot of people that are fucking awesome, who are great to communicate with. And fearing people is It doesn't make sense. Why are you torturing yourself in regards to others? Not to mention that by, as a happenstance of fearing them, you are lacking the ability to network in your industry, to find a partner, to make friends. You are believing something that is ultimately hurting you. So why not believe the thing that is going to get you the results that you want? Why would you believe something that makes you weaker? Not feeling you have the tools or the abilities. Again, this is something that's very common whenever you are about to approach somebody. You start overthinking and saying to yourself, I don't know what to say. I have many videos about this, and I might post a video up right now, give you guys a little link to click if you guys want to know more about this. But with that being said, I'm going to continue. So lacking self-confidence or efficacy, you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you are somebody that follows the herd. And when nobody else is doing something, you don't believe that you're allowed to because you don't have permission from society. But the thing is, a man has self-efficacy. He believes in what he believes, regardless if everybody else disagrees with him. If he thinks it's the right thing to do for him and his people, he's going to do it, regardless of fear of ostracization, regardless of how some people might suddenly not like you. But if they don't like you and they don't like what you're doing, honestly, they're holding you back to begin with because they don't want what's best for you. They are not aligned with your values. Why would you want somebody that's going to make you have to be somebody that you're not in order to be in their presence? You'd rather be around some people that you can be authentic with, that you don't have to constantly pretend to be something else with. It's exhausting. Now, we're going to get to the mindsets of a confident man, of an extroverted man. So, unlike an introvert or an antisocial person, he loves people and communicating. He is drawn to extroversion. It's not that he has this innumerable willpower. It's the fact that he loves socializing. He builds energy socializing the same way, again, that if you're somebody who works out, after you work out, you now are more energetic if you work out consistently. Versus if you're somebody who doesn't believe there's somebody that's in shape or works out, you're going to be exhausted afterwards. But after the first 2 months, 3 months of working out consistently, you start building willpower doing it. In the same way, as you get more extroverted and you build this skill, you will love it. Now, again, internal locus control. You know who you are, and you don't need people outside of you to tell you who you are. You believe in yourself. You believe in your values. And again, that's something for some of you younger guys you will build with time. Time of chasing scary things. If you're somebody who's older who doesn't feel like he has an internal locus control, you have not done enough scary shit yet. And you have to do more scary shit. You have to take risks. Those risks will, again, build you self-efficacy that is necessary to be a confident, outgoing guy. Doesn't negatively self-judge himself. So you are somebody that when the little noises in the back of your head are chirping at you, they're not saying negative things such as, oh, there's no way that nobody could like you. There's no way that your energy or your presence would be taking from other people if you were to go say hi to them. You're not somebody who says, oh, I'm ugly. Oh, I'm not worthy of success. You believe in yourself. You're not somebody who says, I'm ugly. You're somebody that thinks that he's an attractive person, who thinks he's a valuable person at the very least. And those mindsets will exude through your pores. People will feel that confidence. And the confidence in yourself is magnetic. It makes you charismatic. You believe in your values. You have a value system that is set in stone. You have a code of honor. You're not somebody that is wishy-washy depending on what's going to benefit you the most. You're there for your money, you're there for your family, you're there for, honestly, selfishly, probably maybe sometimes yourself. But you are somebody that doesn't align with people who are not in alignment with their own values. You are somebody that has a value system, a code of honor, and you follow it strictly. And by following it strictly, it gives you a sense of confidence. There's nobody that's going to bend me over and make me believe something that I don't want to believe, or that I think would be negative for society, myself, or my people. I just won't do it. There's nothing you're going to say to me to change my mind because I have confidence in myself. Now, we're going to get a little more into the ego death and personality science. So again, being introverted is not something that can't be changed. You can look this up. If you're somebody who hasn't studied a lot in psychology, introversion is not something you're just born with. You can change it. People's personalities change all the time. Sometimes they change slowly sometimes they change slowly, sometimes they change fast and rapidly and all of a sudden. And if you're somebody who thinks that you can't be an introvert, that doesn't think that an introvert can become an extrovert, you're absolutely wrong. You can be. As a person who used to be an introvert who's now an extrovert, yes, you fucking can. And as a coach who's done this with a lot of clients, yes, you can. All right, now, again, well, let's get into this. So you've compiled either action or inaction over time that can push you in a lot of different directions. So if you're somebody who in school studied, you probably have an ego about being somebody who works hard. If you're somebody who maybe went to college, you identify as being smart. If you're somebody who is maybe working a blue-collar job, you believe that you are somebody that works hard, that is rough, that is masculine. The actions you take over the course of your life, they become habitual. And not only do they become habitual, they also mold your personality. It's actually the actions themselves that change your personality. It is, don't get me wrong, society as a whole as well. But the thing that truly changes your personality, the thing that changes it the most, are the actions that you take. Now, actually, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'll tell you guys a story. So when I was younger, I used to sell a lot of stuff when I was trying to get into this field right here. This is a while ago, but I worked a lot of different sales jobs. And I used to sell cars. And I sold cars for the most aggressive car dealership in Northern California. We had a sales team of 50 people divided into 5 different teams. And one day I get this customer onto our lot. I approach them, find them the car they need, do a walk around, start building the value in the car, get them sat inside. And my sales manager comes over to close the deal. And every time the guy comes up with a rebuttal or says he wants to come back to the lot later, he is immediately hit with a line that corners him to where he doesn't have a way to justify leaving the lot or to not buying the car. And eventually he ends up buying the car. Now he goes in the back and he starts, honestly, they start raking over the coals and start making him sign a bunch of contracts for different insurances and things and add-ons to the car. By the time he gets back out to me, I'm holding the keys. He is shaking as he grabs the keys from my hand and he looks like he's about to cry. And he says, "I love this car and I'm so happy I bought it," as he's about to cry. I'll tell you this, he didn't want to buy the car. But because he took the action of signing the papers, he had to backwards rationalize that he must love the car. You can actually use this a lot in different areas. If the more that people do things for you, the more they're going to backwards rationalize they must like you. That's a simple way to use this technique in a very charismatic way. But now that you know this, how can you use this in a way that is effective? What is it that can allow you to start taking those actions? Now, a lot of you guys initially will bite off more than you can chew. You guys will try to I'm going to work out 7 days a week. I'm going to do five different workouts, 5 sets of 20 reps on this one, and you overdo it. Your ego is not going to let you do something that is so juxtaposed to who you currently are. So what do you do instead? Maybe you make a goal of going to the gym once a week. Maybe if you're really against it, maybe you just do 1 workout. Maybe you just lift the weights 1 set, maybe 2 reps. Then you leave, you go home. But if you do this over time, you do this for 1 month, 2 months, eventually you're going to be going to the gym 4 times a week, doing full workouts, getting in shape. This might even bleed into your health. Maybe not because you're somebody that identifies working out. Now you're somebody who eats clean because I am somebody who works out. So this is how this works. So how can we use this concept to make you more extroverted? So again, I gave you an example of how to do it in terms of working out. You want to piecemeal it as much as your ego can handle. The goal is you want it to be difficult, but not impossible. You want to be uncomfortable, even more than difficult, I'd say. Because if you push it too hard, too fast, you're going to blow out. Your ego is going to viscerally fight it. It's going to get triggered. and you're going to blow out. You're going to stop trying, and you're going to say that there's no way that you can do this. You're not going to build any confidence in yourself to change. So you want to, if you're somebody who's really, I'll give you a tier list. So if you're somebody who is really against being social, make a goal of just going in public whenever you're doing something that's mundane. So if I'm working on, like, for example, this video right here, and I'm writing down notes, or maybe even editing this video, I will leave the house, go somewhere social, and work there. Maybe I'm watching educational videos. I'll go to a hookah lounge and smoke some hookah, and maybe grab myself a water while I'm hanging there. Maybe I will make a point of giving people eye contact. Maybe I will, in line at the grocery store, make one comment to the clerk. Maybe at the Starbucks. Maybe when I am in the Uber, I will give the guy a compliment on his car. Any small action will work. But if that's too easy, you bump it up. So instead of that, maybe it's now I'm going to go to a bar or club once or twice a week, somewhere social, some kind of social outing with the intent of being social. Maybe I'm not social. Maybe that's too hard for me where I'm at, but I have the intent there. And I think that through afterwards, I journal and I think through how could I've approached more people, and maybe that's easy. If that's easy, then I start counting how many people I'm approaching, and I try to bump it up. And now from here, all these pieces, it is about consistency. The biggest thing you need is consistency. If you do this week in, week out, you will change. You will no longer be introvert and you will become extroverted. Now, again, you will fall off the horse. Your ego is still fighting you. This entire way for the first month, 2 months, 3 months, your ego will fight you. And as it fights you, you have to keep getting back on the horse because it will win on occasion. On occasion, it will knock you off the horse and you'll start trying to rationalize not getting back on the horse and continuing the hustle. But if you don't continue, you will never get back on the horse. The second that you realize you're fell off the horse, you need to get the fuck back on with no excuses, or else you will not get back in the game. Otherwise, you will not continue to work on this, and you'll probably spend another year or two before you come back to this video to figure it out. So I'll give you some more strategies. Again, action feeds ego. So you want to start acting like the person who's social, not going. So those techniques I just mentioned right there, I showed you, those help. Guess what too? The way you move and speak shows people that you're confident in yourself and you're social. So what would a confident, social, upbeat person do? Maybe see somebody looking at him, so he gives them eye contact back, gives them an authentic smile, nods at them, and then goes back to what he's doing. That it's a form of communication. Maybe you see a cute girl and she locks eyes with you, you give her a wink. Maybe you are somebody who, now when you're talking to your parents, to your boss, maybe you start adding pauses. Maybe you are adding more eye contact. Maybe you are taking moments before you speak. Little things such as this will build confidence within yourself. Maybe you see somebody with a cool hat and you're like, hey, that's a cool hat. Where did you get it from, man? Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, have a good day. Take off. Now, at first, again, this is going to be tough. Not everybody's going to be cool either. When they're not cool, they probably weren't meant for you. All right? And you just got to build that ability to take rejection. Rejection is not bad for you. Rejection is good. It builds you a backbone, makes you strong, makes you masculine, makes you powerful. Another thing you can do is journaling. You want to start envisioning, how does the person who's outgoing think? How does a person who is outgoing go about his week? How would he handle a conversation differently than you would? How would he move, speak? How would he intonate when he's communicating? And then, yeah, the closer of a version of this you can get, the better off you'll be. The line I always tell my clients is, if you're an archer trying to shoot for a target in a mist-ridden valley, you don't know where the target is. So you need to get some eyes on the target. You need to get some GPS location. You need to get some kind of direction for where it is. And the only way you can do that is by journaling, is by thinking it through. And even though I'm verbalizing what a confident person is, you truly don't know what it is. You know what it is logically now, but you don't understand what it is on deep level. And that's not something I can verbalize to you. It's something that you have to figure out for yourself. It's a lot more abstract than what I'm explaining. Visualizing being social. Yes, this does work. Visualize going through your day, through your week, and socializing a little bit more than you would now. So actually, imagine being completely social, being an extremely extrovert person. What drives that? What does that feel like to be? How much better is your life now that you have this ability? Uh, yeah, and the last piece I'll give you, become valuable. If you're somebody who's not valuable, it's hard to believe in yourself. It's hard to come across in a charismatic social way, because what do you have to base this confidence on? Is it fake bravado? Is it because Denton on a YouTube video told you? No, I want you to believe in yourself. So start developing things in your life that will make you feel confident. Skills, material gains, people. What is it in your life that you need to make yourself feel confident? All right. With that being said, I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions, leave in the comment section below. And if you guys do need coaching, text me up at 702-841-9909. And with that being said, peace.